Good Fella Sports TV, we back up in this thing. Yeah, I canceled the live NBA show we was going to do tonight. It was going to be one of 3 preview shows. I'll wait till Saturday to kick that off. So be on the lookout. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell icon button so you get that notification, all right? But shout out to everybody. Shout out to the Lions Den basketball community one time for the one time. And we're going to go on an epic video run. 3 straight videos to end the night. So make sure you be on the lookout for these videos, all right? Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker are being rumored, to have been proposed by the Minnesota Timberwolves for Jimmy Butler. They said they good on it. They didn't want to get rid of PJ Tucker, as one source said. And, would you make that deal? I'd like to hear from the comment section. You can pause it or to wait till you hear my opinion on it. But if the Rockets really trying to beat the Golden State Warriors, I would not just look at their roster and their depth chart. And I definitely think, I'm not sure who all these guys are going to make the team, but I assume that Marquise Chris from the Phoenix Suns will make the team. I assume that Brandon Knight, who bounced back this year, be healthy and make the team. Still like Gerald Green, who got picked up in the middle of last year. Like James Ennis to be a good, bench glue guy. Obviously, Melo's on there as well. Marco Carter-Williams, I like him as well, especially in a team full of shooting. I know he don't shoot the ball well, but he brings a different dynamic, good ball handler, good playmaker, okay? So, I obviously think that Marquise Chris can develop into a good player. I seen a jump from him last year in Phoenix, so I like James Ennis, glue guy. So, in my opinion, yeah, I'll go ahead and pull that trigger, man. I know it'll be an issue where you will be missing that oomph off the bench from Eric Gordon. I don't know who's going to be that guy to kind of be our microwave guy. It most definitely wouldn't be Michael Carter-Williams. Okay, I can tell you that right now. But, Brandon Knight, he been a little bit banged up. Drew Washington is a good glue guy. Good glue guy, a good guy that can give you some points, good D guy. But Brandon Knight is a guy that can go off at any given time. That's what I'm concerned about. PJ Tucker, man, I don't look at him like that. I understand that he's a leader of that locker room. He's a glue guy. And probably the intangibles he bring in that locker room as a leader and the camaraderie and the bond they had in the locker room, I think that's where he's more important at, because as a player, he's a good defensive guy. He played with a lot of heart. He a little sketchy three-point shooter. He, real streaky. But, man, if I'm trying to really go for it, man, I bring on Jimmy Butler. I know it's going to be tough to sign him next year, but they're not asking for Capella. They're not asking for Chris Paul. Obviously, nobody wants Melo. And they're not asking for James Harden. Obviously, he's a no-no, okay? Not asking for that, And the Rockets got better depth than I thought with Marquise Chris, James Ennis, Brandon Knight. And I understand that PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon, that's what I'm concerned about, the scoring from Eric Gordon. He played really, really well last year, and he played a good D too, in our series with the Warriors, man. But Jimmy Butler, would he mess up the camaraderie? Look, y'all, and this team right here ain't beating the Golden State Warriors. Y'all can tell me until I'm blue in the face last year that they was going to beat the Golden State Warriors. I never believed it. Even when they was up, they was down. It was on to the 7th game. You can say if they had Chris Paul, if it's a 5th, we all would be drunk if it was a 5th. So in my opinion, Chris Paul is never there in the important moments. So, I just take that as regular. You got an opportunity to get Jimmy Butler, to push Melo to the bench as well. I think Melo going to come off the bench anyway. Give you some scoring off the bench to kind of alleviate some of the pain of Eric Gordon being gone. But Jimmy Butler is a better defender than PJ Tucker. Okay? He seemed to have some solid intangibles other than the little crazy stuff he's doing in Minnesota. And he can shoot the 3 better than PJ Tucker. And he can play defense better than PJ Tucker. He's a better overall player than PJ Tucker. You worry about the financials next year. If you're trying to go for the gusto and beat Golden State, then yeah, but I can understand where they coming from. They want to keep this team together because most people believe that Kevin Durant has been reported by Warriors reporter. Shout out to the brother Ticket TV. Said that in a report that that they don't believe Kevin Durant gonna be back. He don't want to break up the Golden State Warriors. Draymond want a max deal, even though everybody in the world knows Draymond is not a max deal player. So Durant will leave before that team will break up. Okay, so and if Durant leave, then it's open season on the Warriors. They're human. because that means DeMarcus Cousins. Well, DeMarcus Cousins probably gonna leave anyway. Okay, so then they wounded, and then Houston probably looking like, okay, we could be better than Lakers. Okay, no, we can come up. But if the Lakers pull the trigger on this Anthony Davis deal, then I think Jimmy Butler would serve you well if you can find a way to keep Jimmy Butler, and that way to keep Jimmy Butler, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We'll have to move Capella for a better contract coming back, or a team that got the cap room to take him and trying to get a cheaper center to play his position. So it's all about numbers. They got, before they pull the trigger on a Butler trade for Houston, is pretty much you got to kind of predict the future. If this don't go well, if Chris Paul get injured again, do we trade Chris Paul and then give us some more cap room to do some more things and keep Butler, Harden, and Capella? You know what I'm saying? If Chris Paul get injured again, trade the hell out of him if I'm Houston. You can get the hell up out of here, man. Real talk. I talked about it in a video yesterday about this proposed trade a little bit in a little video I did talk about it in the second half of the video. I said yesterday that I didn't believe. I believe that they can ship Chris Paul to the Lakers if the Lakers can't get Anthony Davis. The Boston Celtics talking about getting Anthony Davis, and so are the the Lakers. They signed this LeBron agent. Rich Paul, whatever the dude's name is. So if they don't get Anthony Davis, you can ship Chris Paul over to the Lakers. He always wanted to play with LeBron. He'd be happy back in LA, in my opinion. And they can deal with his injury-prone self, okay? And we know he probably not going to be healthy this year. It never fails. Him and Blake Griffin took turns and sometimes was injured at the same time with the LA Clippers. And, he did it again last year. You know what I'm saying? He was outstanding last year. Playing good D, scoring well. But eventually the injury bug bit him again. If that happened this year, if you was able to acquire Jimmy Butler, which I would put the trigger on this deal, they're crazy. As long as I have a backup plan, I would, if I want to keep Jimmy and sign Jimmy, I see if Jimmy, before I trade Jimmy, is you going to say anything less than a max deal? Because that's what we trying to do. We trying to win. I know you want to sacrifice and woo. If he ain't willing to bend or sacrifice on the deal, then you know what? You got to make a decision to make. Do I get rid of Chris Paul and get this dude a max deal, super max deal for 5-6 years? Or we just ride it out with Chris Paul? And if you want a max deal and you want to keep Chris Paul, then you just keep the team intact. But in my opinion, this team, no matter how you spin it, this team will not beat a healthy Golden State Warriors team. And I think this team is competitive. With I think LeBron is competitive with the Houston Rockets. But I don't think the thing about with Houston, when it comes to the Lakers, to get off topic for a minute, they don't have enough. They don't have anybody to defend LeBron. PJ Tucker can't defend LeBron. Okay. If it's so hypothetically next year it came down to LA and it came down to Houston, okay, and Golden State Warriors lost Durant and they kind of failed a little bit, and let's just say it came down to LA and it came down to Houston. Well, Houston has nobody to guard LeBron. Melo old ass can't guard LeBron, and PJ Tucker never could, never would, and never will, and just won't guard LeBron. Jimmy Butler gives you the one player on the Houston Rockets, on the team that can guard LeBron. He's guarded LeBron for years. The difference was he learned to score. He evolved into a shooter and a scorer. He was able to give LeBron buckets and stop LeBron from getting buckets. He was doing it, right as long time Kawhi Leonard was doing it. So he does bring value of being able to throw a body on LeBron and defend LeBron very, very well. That brings tremendous value because nobody on Houston can check or keep LeBron in check one-on-one. Nobody. Your best chance is probably Melo, to be honest. You bring a guy like Jimmy Butler there, that makes all the sense in the world from that standpoint. But I will understand why they don't want to, get Jimmy Butler, lose a Eric Gordon, lose a PJ Tucker, and then, lose a Jimmy Butler next summer. So I understand, but if I want to go and keep up with the Cousins and LeBron going to the Lakers, man, I'll fuck around and pull the trigger on this, man. And if Chris Paul got injured next year, or in the playoffs next year at a critical moment, I ship him off, man. I would definitely ship him off. That'd just be my plan. And I would sign Jimmy Butler back. We'd ride out with Jimmy, James Harden, and Clinton Capella. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I would do. But hey, I'm not running the Houston Rockets. And I understand, PJ Tucker is a great locker room guy. I think that's exactly what it boils down to. He's an excellent locker room guy. A lot of the guys like him. They don't want to mess with the team camaraderie. But we trying, if you're trying to win for real, in my opinion, Houston not even, they a contender in the West because, but with this team right here, what Golden State did this offseason to work out, they not gonna do shit with Golden State. But also remember this with Golden State as well too. I had to remind myself that Golden State has been making deep playoff run after deep playoff run. And I know they were older, they were younger than some of the Celtics and Lakers teams that made deep playoff runs. Remember the Bulls in the 90s made deep playoff runs, but what helped out was, Jordan didn't have 2 years. He took 2 years off and took mileage off his body and went away from the game. Golden State and had that, you could tell that the wear and tear on their legs from, celebrating the off season and grinding hard all season, kind of played a part. So that could be a little bit of something of hope for Houston to say, what, they wore down. I think we can get them this year, but this roster is constructed for Houston. I know one thing for sure, I don't think they could beat Golden State in a 7-game series. And another thing for sure is they don't have anybody that can guard LeBron, and Jimmy Butler will help with that and kind of close that gap with Golden State. And that's just my opinion. Goodfellas Sports TV. Let me know how you feel. Shout out to the Lions Den basketball community, LDBC. Check out the Lions Den basketball community on Facebook as well. And also you check my page out at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All the links in the description. Shout out to everybody supporting, doing what we do. If you want to make a donation, the PayPal link is there as well. Sorry for the lack of energy in this video. Just a little bit tired, man. Been moving and grooving all day, man. But check out our podcast. We're going to have some exclusive NBA content throughout the season on there as well. That link's in the description. And I definitely appreciate everybody for holding us down one time for the one time we gone.